of what has been happening. Yeah, so I'll start by sharing a bit of what has been happening. And let me just head there. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
just
okay.
a minute. Yeah, so we had an orientation session for MENA. And also during that time, we were able to meet and greet our members, because we know we have been virtually, and we were looking for this opportunity where we can be able to meet all our members and also appreciate them. So I know some of you are not within, but like we say, we will always find a way to get you people. So during our session, we were able to do a number of things. I'm just trying to see if my screen can move on. Okay, it's not able to, so it's okay. So I'll just be able to keep sharing them and bringing them down. Yeah, so that's Rukia. Rukia is from the US Embassy, and the embassy has really done some great work in supporting this program, and also together with RILO, that is the Regional English Language Office, under which MENA works. So we have done a lot of things with them. So we had the privilege of also being addressed by Rukia from the embassy. Then those are some of the officials, including MENA. And we were just following up during the orientation session that we had. It was a 3-day orientation, which I'm going to share a lot on the same. And this is the team that is the team that is ELPAK officials, and also the English language fellow, and Rukia Mwini, and also our friend Adam. So this was the team that organized everything, and you'll be interacting with them as we continue engaging ELPAK. So those were a few photos we took. Then we had Mina doing what she knows doing best. I just wanted to point out that even as Kenyans are trying to grasp the new look of Rijiji, we have our own Mina G here. So Mina will be our main facilitator for the sessions that we'll have. And I think Mina will be able to explain more when he starts. Then we have our vice chair, that's Tiberius, who is based in Kisumu during his presentation. Then that's one of our members, that's Isaac Mwangi. So Mina, this is one of the Isaac, from Mwiki Secondary. Yeah, getting his certificate. That's Caroline also being awarded certificate. So it was just a great session of meeting together and, just having fun. Then we actually had one of us who is a writer, and is the one standing, is the gentleman standing from the picture. He's called Bernard Ogalo. I think he should be here. And he had some copies for some of our members. And we also look forward to just promoting his books. Yeah, so that was a photo that was taken with all those who are able to get a copy of the book. Then this is the whole team with some of the packages that we got. And it was just great to hang out together and see how far we have moved. And for those who are joining us, we have been running this program for over 2 years now. Yeah, then we also had a cake to celebrate everything. That's my chairman, then vice in the middle, and Mina G. It was great. So that's the whole team. We were cutting the cake. These were some of the packages that we had for that day. Yeah, so I just thought I should share with you guys a bit of what was happening, and also to let you know that we are happy to host you. We'll be having this virtual session every other 2 weeks. So thank you very much. And now I'll allow Mina to take it. And then also want to appreciate you guys. I know one of our items that we are praying for is to have Mina around. And we are lucky that we still have Mina, though now she's on a different location. Yeah, but it's great that we still have her for another 1 or so years. Thank you, and over to you, Mina.
Thanks, Austin. Thanks for sharing those great photos. That was a great memory for those of us who are there, and those of us who couldn't be there, we missed you. And those of you who are new to our sessions, hopefully we can have something like this in the future, and we can all look forward to that. Great to have everyone here. Those who've been here and those who are new. Great to have you. Just a reminder to everyone, this is being recorded. So if you don't want your image used, you can just keep your camera off. It's easy to do on Zoom to not be seen. Although you're welcome to turn your cameras on. It's always nice to see you. So just today is nothing serious, kind of a intro, catch up reminder of what we've been doing. Kind of in the spirit of what Austin just showed us, we'll look at some highlights from previous sessions, take some time to review any key concepts, just a little bit of housekeeping just to make sure everybody is on the same page, and then talk about what's to come. Oh, Khadijah, you're from Mombasa. I missed you. I was in Mombasa before being here, but I'm glad that you're here with us virtually so we can meet. So we started off in March earlier, about more than 6 months ago, and we started out with some great Zoom sessions. We looked at some interesting things, great participation from our members. And as we got underway, we also had some other of the participants lead short presentations on topics that they were knowledgeable with or experienced with, or just simply interested in and wanted to share what they knew. So we had 3 different members. We had Oven, we had Lillian, and we had Rukia. All take a turn sharing knowledge with us, which was really great. So keeping in mind that this is a forum where anyone can share their knowledge and experience. And we continued on with our great sessions, learning more and more. I got more opportunities to get to know you all and also learn a bit of culture as well. This was a great experience for me. I had never known about this practice. And we kept going until July. The end of July, we had our final online session. We had a very, I thought, great reflective and collaborative session in which you all created this, sharing ideas about what you thought was important in teaching. And then, as Austin mentioned, we were able to finally have a meet and greet. Certificates were issued. We got to meet each other face to face. There were books. Some of them were signed by the publisher. We got some nice things from the embassy, a delicious cake. I learned a cake cutting song. The only cake cutting song I knew before was Happy Birthday. So that was very exciting to me. And also I thought this meet and greet was kind of like a nice middle point. It kind of wrapped up things from March to July, what we've been doing, and kind of now sets us on our next course. I will be here for the next 10 months. We'll be meeting twice a week. And so we can be looking forward to, or not twice a week, twice a month, sorry. I was, I guess, fortunate when I was in Mombasa, things didn't work out with my university. So I was able to really give a lot of time to the virtual sessions. But I am told that I will be very busy at Maseno University. So twice a month will be, I think, enough. But we can always keep in touch more often on WhatsApp as well. So to be more specific about what we did, we worked together through March, April, May, June, and July. In March and April, we were meeting twice a week. So we did a lot then. And then in May, June, and July, we met once a week, but I still think we accomplished a lot. Oh, Eunice, I'm glad you're back too. And this isn't everything. I wasn't able to fit everything into these boxes. But this is basically month by month, some of the topics that we discuss. So you can see there's quite a variety of topics here. Things like writing and grammar, pronunciation, vocab. We did a lot of assessment stuff. And then we did some more kind of light, fun, but very effective things such as listening and games and music. In June, we did more grammar stuff, creative writing. I have games again. Does that seem right? I think we did something else. Our personal essay. And then we kind of finished with some kind of serious essay writing, pre-research stuff, but finished off with some nice creative and critical thinking. So I would like to take a little time to kind of think back, activate what we have learned, remind ourselves, and kind of see what you remember about these things. So we're going to go ahead and head into breakout rooms. For these breakout rooms, you'll be able to choose the breakout room that you're interested in. So you'll have a choice of March, April, May, June, and July, and you're going to look to talk about the topics that are in that month. So if you're a returning member, you'll try to remember, what did we learn? Were there any activities? Were there any concepts that we learned? If this is your first time joining us, you can still choose whatever month looks interesting to you, and you can feel free to share any knowledge you have on those topics or ask questions. So you'll be able to talk about both. So I'm going to open the breakout rooms and those of you who were new, or actually, I guess this is applicable for everyone. I don't usually do it this way. You should be able to see the months there in front of you, and then you can choose the month that is interesting to you. And then in that room, you'll be focusing on those topics. And I'll also be sharing the screen to the breakout rooms so that you can see them. If you need help in your breakout room, I'm happy to come and help you. But do remember, if I come into the breakout room, the screen will disappear for everyone. So if the screen does disappear, don't panic. It will come back when I leave the breakout room that I'm helping. So go ahead and click on the breakout room that's interesting to you. And we're going to look to be in the breakout rooms for 7 or 8 minutes so that everybody has a chance to share. And if I notice that somebody is alone, I'll just move you to another breakout room. If you have any questions or need help, you're not sure what to do now, you can type in the chat or you can unmute yourself. I can see 2 people have already joined May. It's a very popular month. Okay, Odila, you want to be in July, so you should be able to just click on the one where it says July and just hit the join button right next to it. I should also note for new people, if you are having trouble getting into a room, if your connection is weak, that can be an issue too. All right, Caroline, you're heading to March, so you should be able to just click the join button next to March. Well, that's an early one. It's hard to remember back that far. February for Tiberius. You should be able to just click on it. There's no, wait, there's no February. You're looking ahead. Okay, I see we still have about 20 people who aren't in rooms. I will not force you into rooms, but I encourage you to join a room so that you can participate in discussion. If you are having trouble, let me know. I'll do what I can to help you. Oh, I see you wanted to go to March. Let me see if I can move you. I don't know that I can. I'll try. Ah, our publisher Benedict is here. About to goes to the website.
Who is that with you in the next room?
Oh, that is my husband. There's no, I used to be able to face away from him, so he was never visible, but it's tricky now. We're working on it.
Oh,
I'm told that a new table will be here, so maybe that will give us a little more options.
so
All right, I think everyone has returned to us. So we had 5 rooms. I thought it was very interesting that no one chose, I think, April. Everyone skipped April, but March and May and June were very popular. July started out with some people, but they decided to leave. And I was very surprised that so many people chose March. March was a long time ago. I think it's hard to remember some of those things, but it had a healthy number of people. And David, I apologize. I moved you. You were in April. You were the one person I think who chose April, but I saw that you were all by yourself. And maybe you were thinking about things in April, but I moved you to March just so that you would have other people to interact with. Would anyone like to speak and share anything that they talked about in their groups, anything that they remember that was very interesting, useful, or maybe something that they don't remember well, but they wish they did? You can feel free to raise your hand to speak and unmute, or you can, of course, always use the chat box and speak in that. But I'm curious what you remember, and I think it's also a good way for us to kind of refresh ourselves. Some of these concepts, we've covered a lot of things. We had 30 sessions over these 5 months, which I think is a lot. Very impressive. Isaac. Okay, so Isaac, you remember June. What do you remember about June?
Hi, Mina, and hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, thank you. Team June had quite a lot that, stuck and quite memorable. Jane actually took us through the personal essay, quite memorable in the way actually you took us through and the assignment that you gave us, the account that she actually gave on her personal, on a story that she had actually picked from social media. it's quite a memorable thing, even as she explains. There was also the element of grammar, and also in games. I still remember creative writing as well as Ogalo. I think that is one thing that has really shaped us, even as teachers, on creative writing. I wish I would share some of the essays that students have written compared to what they used to write, and you'll see actually the difference, courtesy of you. So thank you so much.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that I noticed June was the most popular month. And I also remember, related to creative writing, that after that session, that in WhatsApp, we had a lot of people sharing things that their students wrote, which was pretty amazing. Awesome. Josiah, I saw you raised your hand. I'm going to go to Odelia first. I saw her in the chat, and then we'll get to you. Odelia, you mentioned snakes and ladders. So I think that went with games. What do you remember about that?
Hi everyone.
I don't remember anything.
Sorry.
I just remember that you shared something about that. And I was trying to ask the members the task that was involved in that. I wanted to help them refresh my mind.
I don't remember snakes and ladders specifically, but I do remember some other games that we played that had kind of like a snakes and ladders board.
Yeah, it was
with
a snakes
different
and
games.
ladders board, and you're either demonstrating how we could use vocabulary or something, jumping from one place to another.
You're
and
right.
It was a snakes and some dice, and it was a snakes and ladders board.
Good memory. Yeah, there's a bunch of games on American English's website, and they have different kinds of boards similar to that, that focus on vocabulary. Some of them focus on specific grammar, and all of them are also adaptable, so you can change them to kind of suit whatever it is that you're doing in the class. Oh, I'm glad that you brought that up. Those are some of my favorites.
I think maybe something wrong with my phone. Do you mind sharing with me that link to those games?
Yes, I will share it. I will share that when we finish this, and I'll share it to the WhatsApp.
Okay.
And if I maybe I'll also share the link to the video if anybody's interested in that.
Okay, thank you.
Great,
Yeah,
thanks.
okay.
And Josiah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I did not. Hi everyone. I hope you're fine. Well, I remember many things that we learned last time. I think what we can remember. First, what I remember most is about assessment and the types of assessments that we learned with you. Then we came to the creative writing. So basically, I remember I put so much to memory the issue of assessments, because I applied most of the things that we learned in my lesson. That I understood that the kind of assessment you do is not necessarily at the end of a learning period. Sometimes it can be a short-term assessment, and you can also do throughout the every lesson. I mean, daily. So that's the part that I've been applying with my students, and it has come out so well. And I remember, though not exactly approaches. I don't know the approach of teaching, where we said where we involved students in their issues, teaching each other or other in group works, and they have also worked. Sometimes I found that I was really tiring myself with one-sided kind of approach to teaching from the teacher as a resource person only. So it has been then the interaction that we had, the way students participated, So it was a 3 months full of good memories. I can say much, but I'm also referring to my notes, also checking what we are learning. Thank you very much. I'm also very glad that we are here today and we are starting.
Me
Please, we are
too.
meeting members, even you. Welcome back to Kenya. So I know you came last month. Thank you.
Thanks so much. I'm glad you mentioned that about assessment. You have a good memory. That was back in April. Yeah, we talked about kind of ongoing formative assessment. It's kind of a way for us just to check in with our students. I think a lot of times when we're busy with our classes, that maybe assessment gets pushed back and pushed back. And then there's this big giant weight, and sometimes teachers can be surprised if their students do well. But if we're constantly checking in with our students, we can better adapt our lessons to make sure that that final assessment is successful and that we can support our students. That's a really good point. Anyone else care to share thoughts, opinions, memories, questions? I'm actually very impressed by what you remember and what stuck with you. It's interesting to me. Go ahead.
I remember something I found interesting. About characters. So when you have two books or two passages, then you can ask students to imagine or to create a situation where two characters from different books have met, and then come out with a conversation of some sort. Yeah.
You remember that? Yes. Yeah, kind of a fun alternative to book
Yeah.
report. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Yeah, we can make sure that our students did the reading, but we can also have them use what they read in something fun and creative. Very good. All right, we're going to move on with just a little bit of review. Okay, so I'm going to have you use the chat box for this, and you're going to complete the following sentences in the chat box. If you are new to Zoom and you haven't really been using it, if you're on your phone, at the bottom you have some different options, and there's an option that says more, and that will lead you to the chat. All right, so I'm looking for your answers to this question. It can be more than one word if you want. It's up to you, and there's no right or wrong answer. Just kind of getting your brains flowing. In a learner-centered classroom, the students, what? You can complete this with what they do, what they feel, what they say. There's probably many, many answers. Oh, I like that. That's a great answer. They talk to each other. Very good, Owen. What else happens in a learner-centered classroom? The students. I like that. The students are the center of focus. Very good. That's kind of our definition. They discuss among themselves. Yes. They are partners in pedagogy. I like that. They're actively involved. They share knowledge. They face each other. I like that turn and talk. So Owen and Aurelia have something similar there. They do a lot of activities. The question. They're allowed to explore. The students discover. I love that. These are excellent answers or excellent ways to complete this sentence. They do role playing. That's a very popular feature of a learner-centered classroom. They question. Gotcha. Yes, Jane. Excellent. They question and they're encouraged to question. Very good. Oh, Lorian, they have a choice and voice and choice in learning. I love that. Khadijah says the students are well engaged with activities while the teacher guides them. Yes, the teacher doesn't control them, the teacher guides them. Oh, Tiberius, you are absolutely right. They think critically. Yes, and a very important feature of the learner-centered classroom. Oh, they're always ready to learn. I like that. Oh, they learn from each other. Yes, right. The teacher is not the only source of knowledge. Those are great responses. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Oh, they're the center of focus. Very good. All right. Oh, they analyze, create, and criticize. Yes. Very good. Using those critical skills. Great. Thanks, Celestine. Okay, next one. So this is a little more technical. Scaffolding learning means to what? And some of you, I know you know what this means, because for the mastery of, or the certificates of mastery, a lot of you brought in how what you were doing was part of scaffolding, or how you were scaffolding learning. Adelia says they move from easy to complex. Absolutely. Yes, that is part of kind of the ladder of scaffolding. Excellent. What are other ways that we can define scaffolding? And there are many, I think, many strategies for scaffolding, activities for scaffolding. So we could include those examples. Building support for learners to learn better. Very nice. Yeah, scaffolding is basically support. When we build buildings, scaffolding is what supports that, and that's what we do. Excellent. So in a word, Tiberius says support. Very good. Yes, that's important too, Adelia. It helps in differentiation. I think that's a key. I think those two concepts kind of go together. Very good. I'm hoping that we'll be talking more about differentiation. Very nice. Going from known to simple, or simple to complex, right? From known to unknown. When the teacher helps the learners when they're stuck, yeah, the teacher doesn't let them just sit there and struggle. Struggle a little bit. Struggling is part of it, but the teacher, they know the teacher is there to help them in their struggle, to support them and give them that little boost that they need to move on to higher learning, to progress. Very good. Oh, I like this. Breaking up the whole into chunks for easier understanding. I think that is a key part of scaffolding, Anne. Instead of taking this big complicated thing and giving it to them, breaking that up. Building on prior knowledge. Absolutely, Grace. Demonstrating. Yeah, Tiberius, I think modeling and demonstrating is a very key part of that. Building from small ideas. I like that. When we work our way up, right? It makes the learning very manageable and less intimidating for the learners. Oh, these are great answers. Excellent. And even what we're doing, we're activating background knowledge right now. This is part of scaffolding. Better understanding, building this better yeah, I like that. It's not just giving better understanding or getting better understanding, it's actually building it, right? So it's a very active thing. Talk time between teacher to students so as to build skills. Very nice. Oh, Lillian, I do, we do, you do. Yeah, that gradual release of control. Good memory. A teacher supports students in a mastery of skills. Yeah, that support. Excellent. Oh, very good. These are all very key ideas that are part of scaffolding. Nicely done. I am impressed. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one. I think I have 5 of these. Okay, we talked about rubrics a bit, and I noticed that they kept coming up in chats, and then they were very popular in the certificates of mastery using benefits. So completing this sentence, one benefit of using rubrics is, and there are many, many, many benefits of using rubrics, but if you can tell me one benefit of using a rubric. And I think even new people, I think everyone knows what a rubric is. I think that they are used in your curriculums. Yeah, it's an assessment tool. Very good. I think a very useful assessment tool. So what would be a benefit of using a rubric? Why do we use them? How can they help us or our learners. Performance output. Yes, it is a measure of performance output, right? Very nice. They guide, yes, they guide the learning process, right? They actually kind of set the goals for our learners and lets them know what they're working back towards. Very important part. Type areas improves feedback to learners, right? It's a great way to make sure that they're getting good feedback, especially in large classes. It outlines the guidelines, right? Very nice, Isaac. It makes it very clear to everybody what these guidelines are. Austin says, able to differentiate between students' abilities and assist them at student level. Yeah, very good. It does allow that differentiation to see where students are and where they need their help. That's great. Help students understand the instructor's expectations. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, on individual level, right? Very good. Excellent. These are all great benefits of rubrics. Yeah, they kind of, in a word, I think provide a greater degree of fairness, more transparency. Both students, not just the teacher knows what's expected, but the students know what's expected too. And I think something even outsiders can look at a rubric and kind of see, okay, why did this student get the grade they got? Okay, we can kind of see, right? Even parents can look at this and they don't just see, oh, this is the student's score. They see what was done well. Yeah, and I agree, this does support scaffolding, right? It shows them where they're at and where they need to work towards. A roadmap to higher standard performance for students. Oh, I like that, Lorian. A roadmap, right? I think that goes with what Adelia just said and kind of guiding them. Yes, it shows the expectations so that they're clear to everyone involved. Very nice. Yeah, and in that way, students can kind of assess themselves, see where they are in these expectations. Excellent. All right, I think we are ready for the next one. Oh, yes, absolutely, Adelia. Aids evaluation. A lot, I think. Saves time too, right? And reflection, yes, I think it also encourages reflection. Okay, so here I'm looking for a modifier or adverb. Communication and creativity are blank important in learning. So there's many things we could put. We could say they are not important in learning. They are kind of important in learning. I guess it's a matter of opinion. I don't know if there's as much room for creativity. Oh, vitally important. Oh, I thought there would be a limited number of words, but I hadn't thought of vitally. They're very important. Very, okay. Very, okay. Extremely. All right, so far we absolutely quite good. So far, everyone seems to be on board with this. Precisely, super. Exclusively. I'm glad to see this support for communication and creativity. Oh, they are critically important. Good. I'm glad I did not see the word not. I didn't think I would. Definitely. I definitely agree, Caroline. They are definitely important. Right. They're kind of I would say key factors in this whole student-centered approach, largely. Super important. Exceedingly, really. I agree. They are really exceedingly, super, largely, definitely important. Okay. I think we're all on the same page with that. I think this is the last one. There are again many answers to this. Blank is one of the keys to successful learning. There are many keys to successful learning. There are many possible answers here. Oh, Lucino, paramount. I like that. Good word. What is one of the keys to successful learning? And I think if it's a key to successful learning, it's a key to successful teaching. Student engagement, I 100% agree with that, Adelia. Lesson planning, I also agree with that. I do a lot of lesson planning. Comprehension, yes, yeah, it's very difficult to learn things we don't comprehend. Listening, yes, very good. Initiative, yes. Assessment, yeah, definitely, that is a part of it, right? It's the measure. Exit ticket, oh, I do like exit tickets, that's a very helpful part. Learner-centered learning, yes. Preparation, that kind of goes with the lesson planning. Questioning, very good, that reminds me of what Jane said earlier. Differentiation, yes, if everyone's gonna succeed, differentiation is important. Feedback, absolutely. Continuous learning. Yes, I agree, Benedict, that learning isn't just something that's done. It's happening and happening. Of course, the scaffolding. Yes. Big key for successful learning. That support, making the learning manageable. Absolutely. And learning for life. Yeah, going with that continuous learning. Right. It supports what we learned in the past and sets us up for our future learning as well. Absolutely. I like that, being authentic. I think that's not often talked about, Benedict, but I completely agree with that. Research, yes, yeah. The things that we talk about here are the results of other research. But yeah, we can be a part of that as well. Absolutely. And even if we have students, using books or the internet to find information, that can be considered research as well. I am very happy with the quality of the answers I've been getting, as well as the variety here. Oh, reflective practice. Way to bring it back to our last session open. Excellent. Yeah, without reflective practice, we're just kind of blindly forging ahead. Very good. Nice job, everyone. Setting goals. Yeah, I think that's very important, both for ourselves and our learners. And yes, I think that ties in directly to motivation. Right? Okay, we're going to move on just to a couple things. Oh, sharing knowledge. Absolutely, Jane. Yes, I think that's why we're all here, right? Okay, so a lot of you, I would say the majority of people here today are, I would say, alumni of our virtual sessions. And actually, a lot of you have been doing these virtual sessions before I even joined, right? You're doing them with Julie. So I think a lot of you know these things, but just as a reminder to everyone, to remember to stay muted when you're, whoops, sorry, there's a mistake here, when you're not actively speaking. I think sometimes it's easy to forget about background noise. Hopefully you can't hear my background noise, but it might seem quiet in your house, but there's something happening that's making a lot of background noise. And so it can interfere with our ability to hear each other. In the breakout rooms, do be active. I know it's not always easy to do so. And I also know that sometimes you may have microphone issues. I noticed earlier when we were signing in that some of you don't have your microphone set up, which is fine. It's not a problem. Do use the chat box. If you should be able to use that. But sometimes I try to make the breakout rooms kind of small. When there's 10 people in a breakout room, not everyone usually has a chance to speak. So a lot of times I try to make breakout rooms very small But then I often hear people say, I'm in a breakout room with 3 people, but nobody is speaking, and they may be having microphone issues. If you just let someone know, that can make a big difference. Oh, respecting each other's opinion. Hi, Techno Spark. I see you have your hand up. Do you have something to share with us? Techno Spark 7. If you do, feel free to unmute and speak. Or it might be that you just bumped it. If you're in a situation like maybe you are traveling home from work or something like that, and you can't speak, that's fine too. You can just say something in the chat box, or of course you can always decline to go into the breakout room if you absolutely can't. But I encourage you to use the breakout rooms. It's your main chance to be active. If you think about your classes and when you put students into groups, group work is when some of the best learning and sharing happens. And you probably notice sometimes some students in groups don't speak. And so you don't want to be that student. Of course, sometimes we can't help it, and I completely understand that. I know that it's not always easy to have your camera on, but I love it when cameras are on. That way I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, especially if you're speaking. It's nice to be able to see your face, but if you cannot, that's fine. I know sometimes if you turn your camera on, it causes Zoom to crash, and I would rather have you here without camera on than to lose you to crashing. Oh, and now I see Tiberius has joined us too, and I can see his lovely face. Oh, and I'm seeing lots of faces. Thank you all. I'm not trying to pressure you. I know that all of you have been working today, and it is much more relaxing to have your camera off. But at least if you can check in at some point, it's nice to see faces. Okay, and then finally, be heard. So this is a chance for you to share, whether it's speaking or in the chat box. Please do share your ideas, but also remember to give others a chance to speak, whether that's here when we're all speaking or if we're in the breakout rooms. If you're in a breakout session and you're the only one who spoke, then maybe think about that for next time and try to encourage others to speak as well. And something very important. Please use a Zoom name that is identifiable. So if I'm looking here, I can see ELPAK Tiberius Barasa. Oh, I know exactly who that is. I see Daniel. Most of your names, we know exactly who they are. You can have your name be a little bit funny. That's fine. I know, for example, Tiberius's first name is not actually ELPAK, it's Tiberius, but it's part of his identifier, but it's very clear who he is. And the reason for this is several things. We are keeping track of attendance for certificates. Those of you who were here before, people who attended, I can't remember, kind of a minimum number of sessions all received digital certificates. And those who attended, I think at least half got physical certificates. And then also, there are sometimes data packages as well. And so if we don't know who you are, maybe you have, I don't know, if we had, for example, I don't know, a Michael Jackson here. I don't think any of you is named Michael Jackson. It would be very difficult to figure out who that is. Or if you just have the name of your phone. So for example, if you haven't set your name, it will just show the kind of phone you have. So like mine would say like iPhone or whatever. And that's very difficult. So if you don't know how to change your name, I will show you. If you're using a phone and you kind of go down to the bottom, you may need to tap your phone, but you'll see something that looks like this, participants, but it will have more than one. I think you will see 40 participants right now. If you click on that, you'll see something and it will show all the participants, including me, but everyone else. But then if you click on your name, so here, if I clicked on my name, I would get these two choices. I can mute myself, or I can rename myself and I can type in a name that is clear to everyone. If you're on a computer, it's very similar. Again, at either the bottom or the top. I have mine set for the top, but yours might be set for the bottom. You'll see again a button that says certificates. Or sorry, participants. And then don't click on it, but if you kind of just hover your icon over your name, you'll get this option of more. And then when you click on it, you have an option to rename yourself. And then you'll be able to type in your new name. If you click remember my name for future meetings, then you won't have to do it again. It will save it for every time. So just some things to think about. I know it makes things much easier, especially for Austin, who is in charge of keeping track of attendance and all of those things. And then when he looks and sees, I have no idea who this person is, then it makes things difficult. And only good things can happen if we know that you are here. So we encourage you to put your correct name. Since this is a forum for all of us, does anyone else have any other suggestions or questions that would make things better or easier for us in terms of how we run our sessions? If you do, please feel free to share. You can either go into the chat or you can raise your hand to let us know about any suggestions, or if you have questions about what I just said.
Hi, Mina.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly, I think, add on top of what you have said. What I was thinking, because I noticed most of us, we don't put our cameras on. But maybe you can show us when we are off, maybe we can put our photo there on the profile so that you can be able to see somebody's photo. So I'm thinking if we can do that, I think it will still be okay, so that you can see the face and you can easily know who is this. Because I think I also concur with you that at times it's always easy, since this link we send it across, and at times you need to find out who is who so that we can update them and let them know what is happening, or even, share some bundles with them and all that. But it becomes a challenge because you hardly know this person and even how they have saved their name and all that. So I was thinking maybe one of the things we can do, since I know that also this time is always a bit tricky because there are those who are on the road, there are those who are into other meetings, but they want to log in so that they still don't miss out. So I was thinking maybe if we can help us, like I think looking at yours, I think it has a photo. Maybe you can tell us what we can do. Then we can even update our photos there so that even if my camera is not on, but people can see that is Austin. Thank you.
That is a great suggestion, I think. Oh, now I can't start my, okay. Yes, so when I stop my video, there's still a photo. And I think you're absolutely right. I think in addition to just me not feeling like I'm here all by myself, I think it's good for the whole group to at least have a face for a name. I think it's really helpful for kind of our sense of community and team building. And yeah, like at the meet and greet, a lot of you, I knew you from here. I apologize, Caroline, I don't know why I didn't know, or no, actually it was Patricia. Patricia, I should have recognized you. I've seen you in videos and things like that. But some people I've never seen before. So it is nice. And if you can't, I understand how to make your picture. I will send you something in WhatsApp because right now I can't remember how to do it. It's something that you can actually do like in the meeting, but right now I can't think of how to do it and it would take me a long time. But I will send something. That's a great suggestion, Austin. Oh, good. Thank you, Aurelia. I'm excited to have you here. Josiah, go ahead. I see your hand is up.
Hi, well, I want to ask how to put that photo sorry, just correct. I said you don't. So let's take photo. But while using the phone, sometimes I tried to save the photo. It was not easy. Sometimes, yeah. So probably you can send us the procedure, and we shall gladly. Rather, I will gladly do it.
Awesome.
At
Thank
least
you.
sometimes the video refuses to work together with the audio because of maybe poor network. For instance, when I was starting, there was a challenge with the network I was using. It took around 7 minutes to stabilize. So sometimes the video can be challenging together with the audio. But if you get the procedure for whatever, for setting the photo, I think it's a deal. I know somebody can feel lonely while you can say because we are dealing with, you are talking with, or rather true. Otherwise, it's a very nice idea. It's a good idea. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Josiah. Yeah, I agree. So yes, I will send the procedure. And I think that that is a good compromise. If we can't keep our videos on, at least having a face there. I agree. Great. Thank you. Great suggestion. All right, moving on to look ahead and kind of set some goals for ourselves. So just to give you a little preview, as I mentioned, we're going to be together for about 10 months. I don't know if there'll be a break in there. I don't know. 10 months is a long time. We'll see what's happening. But as of now, we're scheduled to meet twice a month for the next 10 months. So we've got a lot going on. So some things that we can look forward to. I was trying to think of good topics. And something I was thinking about would be a series of sessions on learner differences. So these learner differences would include things like age, learning styles, abilities, interests, motivation, because even in this, the exercise we just did, differentiation came up often. And in order to differentiate, we need to be able to kind of recognize learner differences and what those different types of learners need. We know that we're all individuals. Actually, Tiberius has a nice kind of exercise that demonstrates this. But meeting, or at least trying to meet these different needs is, I think, an important part of being an effective teacher and promoting effective learning. So I was thinking those would be some good topics, and also how to deal with these differences. So hopefully you're on board with that, but we still need many other topics. Something else I was thinking about as we get closer to it, we're having a big conference here in Kisumu, and I expect that many of you will be here. Some of you will be presenting. Some of you will be audience. Yes, absolutely, Josiah. Absolutely. That will be part of it. Very good. And so as we get closer, I was hoping to dedicate some of these sessions to how to write proposals for this. And then if proposals are accepted, keys for presenting, and then also we'll probably allow those who are going to present to use this space to practice their presentations before the actual conference. But I look forward to seeing many of you there at the conference. I think it's going to be amazing. There's actually going to be a lot of international people there. It is an international conference, but also other English language fellows in the region are going to be there. It's very likely that our Relo, we have a new Relo, she's based in Addis Ababa. She will be there. And of course, representatives from the embassy will be there. So that's something very exciting that's going to be happening in April. As I mentioned, in our last series of sessions, several people presented. Oven was very brave, was the first one to do it. Lillian also presented, and Rukia Muhammad. So if that's something that is interesting to you, a chance to share your knowledge with others, practice your presentation skills. It's also something you can add to a CV or resume that you presented in our forum. So if you're interested in doing that, please know that that is always open. And then we will be doing certificates of mastery as well, and there'll be more information about that coming up. So these are things to look forward to, things that are coming up. But of course, this isn't going to fill all our sessions. So I'm interested in what you're interested in. So we're going to have a little brainstorming session in the breakout rooms. These will be random breakout rooms this time. And in the breakout rooms, you have 4 questions to discuss. What topics are you interested in exploring? So these can be broad topics, they can be specific, they can be issues. For example, I know right before our session started, there's a hot discussion in WhatsApp about dealing with toxic coworkers and how to deal with that situation. So anything related to our work is appropriate. So you can be brainstorming those. If there's any issues you'd like to discuss, things you want to do in our upcoming sessions. Of course, we're online, but we still have different activities and things we can do. And if there are any other goals that you have that you think can be supported by our sessions. So I'm going to have you go into breakout rooms to brainstorm these and share ideas. And then we'll have a little time for sharing when we get back. But I also want you to keep these ideas that you brainstorm or get from others. I'm going to be doing like a Google form just to get your input. All right, so let me open the breakout rooms. Sometimes the computer doesn't want to work with me. And this time, these are going to be randomly assigned. Oh, we have a nice big group. Okay, so we have about 4 to 5 participants per room. If you're not able to join, it's quite all right. But if you are, please do communicate either through your mic or through your chat. I'll go ahead and open the rooms. And so you should be able to just click join. You don't have any choices you have to make. And we'll be in there for about 5 minutes. Sharing ideas. And I'm going to pause the recording. All right, it looks like everyone has returned. Good to have everyone back. So we don't have a lot of time, but if a couple people want to share something that they are hoping is going to happen in the next 10 months or so, please feel free to share with us. You can use the chat, you can raise your hand and speak. Let's see here. Celestine, we haven't heard from you. Go right ahead.
Hello, everyone. So in our group, we were hoping to discuss some of the topics we said we would like to discuss is essay writing, composition writing, which is part of creative writing. We were also interested in poetry.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the issues that one of us said that he would want us to look at during the sessions was how to integrate ICT in the teaching language. And that was it. Time was not on our side. So that is what we discussed.
Gotcha. Yes, this is probably something we could talk about for a long time. Thank you. Just one quick question before I move on to the next person. Celestine, how do you differentiate composition and essay writing? When I think of a composition, I think of essay writing, but you're saying it's more related to creative writing. Can you explain a little more?
I thought that maybe it was more of creative since we create a story, develop it, and so we creatively come up with one.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Isaac, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Group one, we had a number of issues that number one is the issue of mental health and wellness for teachers of English. There's also the aspect of inclusion, more so to learners who are able differently. And then for personal development, there's writing research proposal for grants. Writings, I think, has been mentioned, as well as poetry. Then making presentations, more so on how to engage the audience. There's the aspect of episodic analysis in set text or set books. Another thing is how differentiation works in classroom setup. And then lastly, the importance of virtual trips and how one could use them in teaching English.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Lorian, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm
Hello.
sorry. Hi.
Hello.
Go ahead, Lorian.
Hello. This
Okay.
group two.
Oh, Justice, hang on. Let
Yes,
Lorian
yes.
go ahead.
This is
Okay, thank
from
you so
group
much.
two. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, Justice. Go ahead. Or Lorian, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. This is group two. This is what we talked
Oh.
about.
Okay.
First of all, we would like to expect as administrators, qualities of a good administrator in any learning institution, and then how to integrate ICT in teaching of English. Then there's also another issue that we looked at, and that is all about how to deal with the mentally handicapped students in our classes.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. All right, Lorian, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. I was in group 3, and then in the room 3, sorry, where we talked about the things that we want topics to be covered. One is that we want to learn how to use, using peer correction effectively after formative assessments. Like, this is in the regard of when you have a larger class where you can invite the students to do the peer correction, and then it will help you to check on the students' work and their progress. And number 2, we talked about how we want to know the PowerPoint presentation, preparing a PowerPoint presentation for your students that really very attractive and very, very well organized. And number 3, we also talk about how to integrate technology in the EFL classroom. And number 4, how to use group work and group discussions effectively. And then if I forget anything, Tiberius can help me. I think Tiberius can help me. I think I forgot maybe one or two
Lauren.
topics. Yes.
We also talked about how to conduct an effective group discussion. If we can have a topic where we can help ourselves in this, particularly how group discussions can be properly conducted to the benefit of the learner. And that's fine, but you did well. Thank you.
Yeah, the last thing I forget is that we wanted to review the pre-research topic.
Oh, okay.
Maybe pre-research topic. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
that's
That's
all we,
helpful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
And Josiah.
Yes, hi everyone. I was in group 7, and I was with the Mary, Ogola, and Naomi. So, well, one of the something itching that came up is if we can, at the end of the 10 months or within the period of time, we can come up with our book, maybe a collection of stories, because we are learning how to write, we are learning much of grammar, much of writing. So we can come with short stories, a combination of a book with a short story from some of us who are talented. We can also have a collection of poems that we in a group, there are some guys who are very good in writing poems. So, and then probably you can market the poems and sell them, and they can be used countrywide or worldwide. So making ELPAK great. So that's it. So meaning we need to learn about editing and among other things. Thank you.
That's an awesome idea. And I know that we have a member who can definitely help out with that. Ooh, I love that. Excellent, excellent ideas. Great brainstorming. All right, in the chat, Caroline has mentioned reflective learning in order to exercise critical thinking skills and the difference between reflective learning and collaborative learning. Okay, very good. Oh, this will keep us busy. All right, I will be sending a Google form out as well to kind of collect these ideas. Yes, I agree, Isaac. I will tell you, these aren't all obviously topics that I can lead. So also be thinking about if you know someone who you think could address one of these topics really well, and we can invite them as well. For example, I can completely understand, mentioned a couple times, incorporating ICT. I know this is your new curriculum, which is something that I don't know a lot about. So I don't know that I would be the best person, but if you know somebody, that would be really helpful. Okay. Stressed syllables and intonation. Pronunciation is always important. And authentic learning approaches. Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, this will definitely keep us busy. If you also are a person who heard one of these things and said, I know all about that, then please do contact me to lead, and I would support you in whatever way would help you. All right, so that kind of brings us to time. We will be meeting again in 2 weeks. Before that, I will send out the Google form. And but please do feel free to reach out to me. I'm in our Google chat, so you can find me easily that way. But if for some reason you can't find me, this QR code here that is my my WhatsApp, and you can also email if you want. And we also have poetry and answering questions, making learning effective for a changing current generation. That's yes, and research proposals. I see that's also a hot topic. Okay.
Mina Austin here.
Yes, I'm going to turn it over to you. Go right ahead.
Yeah. Now, I want my vice chair to be able to conclude for us. That is Tiberius.
Thank you, Austin. Mina, that was a lovely beginning. And I think we are very expectant. We are looking forward to these sessions. I believe it will go a long way to strengthen our delivery in the classrooms. I also want to encourage our participants to be consistent so that we learn more. I've really enjoyed the expectation part of this session, especially how what people are expecting. I'm looking forward to the Google form so that we gather more information about the expectations of each participant. Otherwise, as ELPAK, we really look forward to interacting more. I was excited about the mention of the conference. We really look forward to it, and this will be the correct forum for us to also share on how to prepare best for our international visitors who are coming, and of all of us as we shall be meeting. Otherwise, thank you very much. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for wrapping things up for us. All right. See you all in 2 weeks.
See you.
Bye. See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Matakaje? Matakaje nini?